So hello, welcome to Chur. We're on the Arosa Line today, so something a little bit different. And we're in Switzerland. I kind of wanted to do a run that really captures a feeling of what Christmas is all about. And I just fancied doing something that's a little bit more old school, shall we say, because there we go, that's into forward. I think the Bernina line graphically is a little bit more exciting, but I just wanted to drive something a little bit more kind of older. There we go, that's lit up that area there, I think. Trying to work out if we got some headlights on. That should do us, I think. We need to actually, which side is the platform on? It's on the right hand side, I think, isn't it? There we go. So we start off in the foothills, really, in Chur. I mean, I would honestly, in all honesty, I would have called this Chur, but I believe the correct name is Chur, I think it is. So we're going to Arosa, and I think we're basically going uphill, but it's quite nice. And I think Arosa is basically a touristy skiing resort, but I mean, this route gets a lot of criticism because it goes all the way back to TSW6, so it's quite old now. And I think the way that the mountains have been captured in Bernina line, technology has moved on somewhat, but I love the fact that you start off basically on street level, so it's quite interesting. And we'll see if I can get the hang of actually driving this as well. It's an old loco, so this is a RHB GE 4-42. We'll take the vacuum brakes off. And this thing here, I think you have to... Oh no, that's the... Yeah, I think basically as you inch this forward, then if we put it on 2, that should hold us up to about 20. Which is the speed limit. Actually, I tell you what, let's just make sure we got the... Oh, wait a minute, loco brakes off as well. That's not going to be any good, is it? There we go. So I'm not totally sure if putting this 2 will actually hold our speed up totally. Yeah, it is kind of working. I wasn't sure whether it would work as a speed control, but seems to be working effectively. But I just kind of love all those Swiss videos that you get, that you see this time of the year, with some beautiful, beautiful runs, and it was kind of the vibes of that, and you sort of think, well, it'd be lovely to spend Christmas in Switzerland and to be in this sort of setting. So we've got to keep an eye out on the stations as well. So this is core stat coming up. Yeah, I was just double checking actually. It is kilometres per hour that we're doing here, so it's not very fast at all. Well, you almost feel like you're driving a tram at the moment because you're almost in and amongst the streets. So it's about an hour's drive all told, and there are quite a few stops along the way. I took a bit of getting the hang of with the brakes, but that's okay, I think. So the Bernina line's got a much more modern version of EMU included. So this is kind of electric loco, pretty old school with those carriages on the back. It's still really, really pretty, and you certainly get that Christmas cardy feel about it, don't you? So we've got a bit of a time period now, so we've got it to 25. There we are. So Lean Catal is next. Sorry, Castiel, Lean Castiel. So I presume this is like the castle by the sounds of things. But really, really spectacular through the streets and this particular part of the line. So we're going uphill, and it's going to be a bit like a roller coaster, but kind of getting up the climb. So this is what the blurb said: experience nail-biting gradients, stunning Swiss scenery, and classic motive power with Rivet Games Train Sim World 2 Arosa Line. So it's been out for some time now. From Chur, the oldest town in Switzerland, to the summer and winter resorts at Arosa. The Arosa Line dates back to 1914, represents the ultimate in railway engineering with the use of numerous hairpin turns, mountainside tunnels and gradients as steep as 6%. This electrified meter gauge railway line winds its way through the picturesque Schanfigg Valley and offers vital connections for locals, is used to transport resources and is popular with tourists. The sedate nature of the Arosa Line allows for prolonged exposure to the surrounding terrain, with the journey from end to end taking about an hour. You get a bit more speed on now. It's your job to take charge of the services along this stunning line, link remote communities together, take holiday makers up through the mountains and experience the unique blend of hauling both passenger and freight in the same consist. Yeah, I believe that's a thing sometimes. I was hoping to give you a nice outside view there, but we've got That was sort of blocked off. Now we're all right now. Just choose how you want to play. Drive trains, ride around as a passenger, complete the route tasks, or simply take a vantage point and watch the action unfold. So the key features: highly detailed and authentic recreation of the Arosa Line between Chur and Arosa, the RHB GE 4-42 electric locomotive in RHB livery, the EW1 and GE pack wagon passenger coaches in RHB livery, the SPW timber wagon, highly detailed, feature-rich driving cab with accurate, true-to-life performance and handling, and it's kind of all the normal stuff, really. And as I say, it just looks slightly dated now. Bear in mind, of course, this came out in Train Sim World 2, we went into Train Sim World 6. I really need to do another run on the Bernina line as well. I've been to Switzerland once, which was kind of many years ago, in the early 1980s. That was a school trip, but it was in the summer in and around Lake Interlaken, and we went up. Even then, in the summer, I think we went up the Jungfrau Joch, and it was there was snow at the very top then, even in the middle of summer. Tricky speed limit, this, really, 33, because I mean we no, we can go up to 33. That's fair enough. So I don't know 100% if it'll hold us if we have any downward sections. It's kind of a route that I've got no intentions of paying full price on, and it might be another 12 months before I touch it again, but it's quite interesting. So different than driving a train in the UK, and essentially single track running, so there's obviously a limited capacity with passing points at the stations, and there's no announcements on this one. You do get announcements on the Bernina line, but you'll get an idea here of the stations. I mean, without kind of a speed control, this thing would be a virtually impossible train to drive on these steep gradients. So I'm presuming it just had to be a #1 feature, and not unusual on some of these routes around Switzerland. No idea if this is probably about the fastest we're going to go. did talk about the percentage degree of the gradients. It did say up to about 6%, which is essentially what we're at the moment. There is a bit of a free giveaway as well if you haven't already downloaded it. I can't remember what the time scale was now, but it's a fairly limited time to pick up free a copy of Spirit of Steam. Now, I never bought it originally, and it's been on sales numerous times, and I've kind of teetered into thinking I'm going to get it, and then I've never actually bought it. So that came as a bit of a bonus for me, but I was never ever going to pay £30 for Spirit of Steam, Crew to Liverpool, but I've got it now. It's free. So absolutely dead flat at the moment. To take some building this line. Slightly easing off the speed control because we'd actually slipped above 33. I should have actually dropped down to 20, so we're definitely speeding here. No, it's 30, isn't it? Was it 20 briefly? I lost count, all sense of what we're supposed to be doing. Still a couple of kilometres away from the next stop. Imagine being tasked with the job of building a route like this, going up a mountain. And again, I think because you're kind of driving so slow, as a driver, it's harder to maintain that concentration and keep the proper eye on the signals. So I definitely agree that the Bernina line has been modelled better, but it's certainly not without being rather nice, this one. Not totally sure what time period this is set in. I think there probably are newer trains available for this route now. But quite like the old cabs. You can see there's quite a bit going on. thought we'd activated that one. Now, perhaps that's what we were supposed to do. Yeah, sure, that one's supposed to be lit up. Oh, we've actually got some proper lights on the front now. You really do feel as though you're coming off a cliff edge, and that's kind of one very, very good reason why you're never going to be going terrific speeds along here. It looks as though the station after this one coming up is going to follow pretty swiftly. I was trying to think what routes. I mean, there's obviously loads of UK routes that would look very, very nice with a Christmassy feel. I was considering there's for West Cornwall local there is sort of a Christmassy themed steam rail tour pack, but it's been done a million times by other videos over the years. See, absolute. I mean, obviously there will be videos of this, but I couldn't see tons and tons of them. Kind of feel as though it was a little bit berated when it came out. Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with Switzerland when I went. It was absolutely beautiful. But you can definitely understand that in the summer would be a little bit different than driving it here in the winter. Well, there's a southbound, or is it northbound train? The one going down the hill anyway, that's the crucial thing, but going towards Chur. This strange thing where it's just saying unlock doors and then it's absolutely not doing it. Right, doors unlocked it says, but then it's actually not actually proceeding to do it. I wonder if we no, it's not making no difference, is it? got to be something to do with the location, hasn't it? I can go back slightly, I think. I'd have gone too far forward. Strange thing. Feel as though you've got to be careful here. Interesting, there's only a door on that side. Wonder if I've just had a thought. Got the right seat on. A little bit shorter to our next stop. So again, a 30 mile an hour restriction. St. Peter Malinis. Just imagine though the importance of these train connections though. Many communities you would have thought would be relatively cut off without the ability to have a train service. needless to say, lots and lots of tunnels en route as well. But I hope you're enjoying the video. Hope you're getting a nice Christmas festive vibe to this journey. That's kind of the intention. And I know before now, particularly in sort of the period between Christmas and New Year, we've had that kind of twilight zone where it's beginning to go dark. And you know, sat there with either a cup of coffee or a mince pie and a sherry, and you know, almost beginning to drift off to sleep watching one of the videos, real videos of these journeys through Switzerland and Austria maybe as well. There's some good ones around. Find it astonishing, really, the complexity of building the overhead electrification on these sort of routes, because you've got not a great deal of room to work with. I mean, in terms of the actual cabling, I think you can actually get specific vehicles that go along and actually sit on the tracks, and you can put the wiring in, but it's the actual structures and the gantries that couldn't have been too easy. Of course, it's by no means obligatory to drive trains on this route in the snow. I think I'm right in saying there's actually a Train Sim Classic version of this route as well. I think they've done a little bit longer though. Must admit, it'd be quite nice to do some sort of more, slightly more dynamic, faster line Swiss running, really. I hope you're enjoying the video, and I'm trying to get a few videos up between Christmas and New Year whilst I've got a little bit of time off work. And the live streams as ever on Sunday at 5 o'clock, so if you happen to be watching the premiere or in the first couple of days of it coming out, then the next live stream Sunday 5 PM, so that'll be the final live stream for Train Sim World of 2025. So the idea being, we're going to focus on showing all of the UK routes, so it might go a bit longer than the 4 hours on Sunday, because there's been 5 routes that have come out for the UK in 2025. Of course, we started with the Mildmay line between Stratford and Willesden Junction. Of course, 2026 that will be extended as well, so that we'll have Richmond to. Right, here's the platform. No, not quite. You don't get them till fairly late, do you? No, we're still 500 metres away yet, aren't we? But yeah, very much looking forward to the Richmond to Willesden Junction section, and then that should add in some district line services, and hopefully kind of a representation of the South Western Railway services, even if it's a reskinned 350 into a 450 for the mainline platforms. And we'll have the power changeover at Acton Town as well, so it's going to add more interest to it. I'm hoping, don't think we're going to get a January roadmap, but hopefully we'll get some shots of that in the February roadmap. I think we're holding up that train there. Wow, that didn't quite go to plan, did it? There's probably something I should have acknowledged. I obviously didn't. Weird thing there, as you can see, yeah, I think the platform's definitely on the, what is it, on the left or the right? I'm just not totally sure about this. Has it deemed that we've picked up passengers there? I think it has. Anyway, the train going down the hill has moved away. So the Mildmay line extension, definitely something I'm looking forward to. So that'll be the first one that we look back on with the original version of the route as far as Stratford from Willesden Junction. And then the second route was Cardiff City Network. Not a my favourite route, to be honest. I think it had a lot of potential, but there were issues with it in terms of its relative short. Some of the journeys are quite nice actually, but it's just a shame that it isn't a fully expanded network. There's plenty of provision to make Cardiff City Network really good. I think the Class 142 and the Just Trains pack has added some value to it, but it's still a route that has potential but hasn't quite achieved that potential, I think. Yeah, I think we are definitely supposed to be stopping at the next station anyway. And we had Manchester Airport commuter, which I know came out when the weather was incredibly hot. It was in the middle of summer, and again, absolutely love it. And there's just that seam bit between Crewe and Alderley Edge, which would mean proper Crewe to Manchester Piccadilly services. But love the fact that Stockport's included, and you've kind of got two ways of getting from Alderley Edge to Manchester Piccadilly, either via Stockport or Cheadle Hulme and then Stockport, or you have the route that goes via Manchester Airport, the Style Line. In fact, it's possible to actually do that section without even touching Manchester Airport as well. Everywhere you stop is just a Christmas, isn't it? And again, that just looks like a model, doesn't it? Toy model. Now, if you're very eagle-eyed, you might look at the clock and think, he's back on time again. How's he managed that? He's gone back in time. I don't mind confessing that this is kind of like part 2 of this video, and we've got another go at it because I came a cropper on the next station. Actually just stopped a little bit too far forward, so see if we can get it right this time. We're talking about the UK routes, and as I say, the plan on Sunday will be to go through them all in the live stream, and we'll do at least one journey on each route. I mean, when Trainsim World 6 was released, we had the excitement of the Riviera line, Exeter, St David's to both Paignton and Plymouth, and I have to say they did a much better job of it than I was anticipating. I mean, the original Trainsim Classic route was good, but it was showing its age, and of course that was only the section to Paignton, so you had Exeter to Paignton. But the idea of having the main line going to Plymouth as well, it's a good logical point for cross-country services, which actually do terminate at Plymouth. So and it's a fascinating section as well there through Totnes. Okay, maybe not quite the steep climbs that we've got on this Arosa line, but it's still pretty challenging. With Dainton Bank, some very famous climbs that were really difficult back in the steam days. Then probably the personal highlight for me of 2025 was Birmingham New Street to Crewe. And Crewe's been modelled in great detail, not a huge distance away from where I live, so, and it's such an important station in terms of the railway network with all the junctions. So great to see that, and the detail around Birmingham New Street again, a very, very important changing point. And Wolverhampton's busy as well, Stafford's interesting. Now, I know that sort of console-wise it's been a challenge, and there are still masses of issues with Trainsim World in terms of controlling the game on consoles, and whether they'll completely conquer it, I've got my doubts, because they're kind of limited to the ability of the consoles. I mean, some people have made the point many times that if the game's better optimized, then the consoles will be able to handle it better, but it seems to be it's an ongoing battle. So next station, I think Langvies, I would say. And I think we're about to go over the Langvies. Is this the Langvies viaduct? I think it is. Look at that. It's an extraordinary little route though, this, and you're not driving at any speed whatsoever, but all these twists and turns, and an amazing feat of engineering to build this and make it operational. Now I've got to make sure that, I think the key point is to make sure you stop behind the board. That's where I've gone awry on my previous attempt. Go around some of these bends and just feel as though you're going to fling off the track. Almost feel the cold penetrating through, even though I'm sitting in a nice warm insulated house. It's quite strange. And although, and again, you see the stations at the last possible moment, because, you know, we're like 400 meters away, but because of all the twists and curvature and the bends, it's just it appears on the last possible second, and it's not even obvious sometimes where the platform is. Kind of that European style of the platform being not exactly matching the place where you board the train. It's quite low down. You're supposed to climb up a little bit. Right, this is the station, so let's get some bit of concentration in. I think it's this board on the right that's the key thing. We need to be shy of that, so we're okay. I think that's the board. I mean, there's obviously tutorials that you can do, but I think I kind of need to be behind that. And then, well, that's clearly red, and you have that sort of tram system, don't you, where it's horizontal, so that suggests that we don't have a clear path through. So I presume we're waiting for a train to come. Like dolls' houses, aren't they, really? And then you can see kind of where we're going next. We're going round to negotiate that bridge as well. And see the river down below. Ah, right, okay. So it was a question of getting the brakes on. It's one of those where the signals, again, you wonder whether that would happen in real life, but it felt as though by closing the doors, we shouldn't be undone, then that was enough to trigger the signals to be cleared. Where are we now? Now then, have we actually shut the doors? Was it closed? Just so thankful we have a speed control, because otherwise I really would be struggling to control this. Yeah, so we're getting there. We've only got a couple of stops before our destination. This is going over this. I just love this slightly clunky old train that we're driving. It's again, it's just a totally different experience than driving a modern electric. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to pick up this route rather than doing the Bernina line. Of course, you don't have to drive on this route in the snow. You can take it out with the green grass around you as well. Totally different experience. We've all seen these sort of wintry Swiss scenes, like so classic. I mean, some people might say this is a bit cliched, really, but it is such an amazing sight. Nice if we actually got another passing train before we get to Journey's End. I don't know what the top speed of this locomotive is, but you feel as though it can cope with this quite straightforwardly, even despite these really steep climbs that we're taking part in. Or if you're used to whizzing along at 125 mile an hour or faster, then it's something totally different. Oh, there we go. I was saying about perhaps we could have a train coming the other way. And that is exactly what we've got. So I'm kind of hoping we might get the chance to see that train depart. There we are. Lizzaruti. Just looks so remote, doesn't it? These houses up on here. We haven't had a chance actually to look inside, have we? But there we are. Yeah, not bad. Quite nice. Kind of snow's built up there as well. I mean, the one thing you can be completely certain of is that these trains will be built for snow. Wait a minute. Going forward. I'll talk about walking in a winter wonderland. That's certainly been the theme of today's journey. We've not finished the climbing just yet. Must be quite an interesting ride as well, to be driving in that period just as it's sunrise or just as it's going dark as well. See the twinkling of the lights and those houses. It's in go via, so that's not actually a station stop in 700 meters. Do you know, it's ever so weird, isn't it? Have you noticed the meter count? And it's the first time I've spotted this in the entire journey, but there are periods where it actually works out that we're farther away from the next point than we were before, and it's actually increasing the meters, but it's all depending on exactly what direction. We're meandering around such a bit that there are times when we're actually going back on ourselves. So all in all, it's supposed to be just about an hour's journey, and it will be about right once I've done the editing on this, but it's taken me probably a couple of hours all told with the fiddling about. And with this is the second attempt at the run. Just determined to get to Arosa as the final destination. Right, so we have got green, yeah. So again, it's not a station stop, but it's a potential passing point. So you can get held up there, I suspect. I'm beginning to understand the signal slightly more. Yeah, so we are coming towards Arosa, which is our final stop. I think in reality this is part of a longer line. I think the Train Sim Classic line was actually a longer duration. So I guess it's one of those routes that there's every chance I might not touch this again for another 12 months, but picking it up in the sail, and it's been enjoyable to do. And the scenery, I mean, despite it getting a lot of criticism, and I think the scenery is not up to the standard of Bernina line, but it's still beautifully done and looks, and particularly with this snowy, Christmassy, festive feel about it, then it's still been a pleasant journey. Hope you've enjoyed it. And it kind of just demonstrates and shows that with trades there is such a variety of things. You know, you think of doing an urban service in and around London or Germany, and you know, and you think of the high speed connecting two cities zipping along at huge speed, and then you got something like this, but just as important, well, maybe not just as important, but important to keep communities together, to serve holiday makers, tourists as well. And driving a venerable old train like this as well, it's been fun in its own right. Now, this is the ski resort of Arosa, I do believe. So you can see sort of bigger buildings, hotels, and more infrastructure in and around than we've had for some time. I think that signal suggesting that there might be something more adverse coming up. So I've acknowledged the signal anyway. I don't know if I've done enough. Judging by the fact that the brakes have come on, then I'm guessing not in that respect. Determined to make this end point. It's just resetting necessary. Oh, we need to knock that off first, don't we, I think. Right, now we can get forward. Again, it's just trying to understand the signalling. I suppose that's sometimes why the tutorials are there. And if it's a different country, it is important to really try and grasp these things. feel as though this is almost quite an important station actually. And you can see a little bit more infrastructure going on than what we've seen before. So we'll glide into the platform, not go exactly full pelt. So here we are, Journey's End in Arosa, an interesting little route. And certainly that was the aim. It was going to be a little winter's trip to Switzerland and take on some stunning scenery, give you a little bit of a Christmassy feel, and certainly beautiful. And I hope you enjoyed it. So that's another video from me. I'll try and do some more up between Christmas and New Year if I get the chance. But apart from that, join me if you can in the live stream on Sunday at 5 PM. I say me, us and the community, and we can have a chat. And you can drive the same services if you like as well. That's always interesting just to compare your scores. But thanks for watching. And if you've enjoyed the video, you've not done it before, then I'd be grateful if you consider liking and subscribing. But until next time, from Powerflower Trains and Planes, for now, it is goodbye.